What's up, everybody? I am Josh Olive from Haven Comics, this place. Here for a Haven Comics quiz show. We have an awesome episode tonight featuring a really cool comic book writer who is doing some great stuff. So stick around, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already while we play the intro. Guys, I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited. I always enjoy when we have a comic creator on to hear a little bit about what their process is, what they're working on, what they've got coming up next. And we have an awesome guest tonight, and we'll introduce him in just a second. But speaking of things that are awesome, I would like to bring on my co-host, Mr. Jeremy Brona. How are you, sir?
Hey, how are you? How is everyone?
Just peachy and marvelous. How about you?
Yes.
I don't know. Peachy is not a word I think I would ascribe to you on your most happy-go-lucky day.
Is it a canned peach?
Maybe. It could be. I think you'd be more of a fresh peach man.
I'm a fresh peach?
Yeah, I think you would be more of a fresh peach guy.
Fresh peach. That's me. All right. I'll take it. I'm a fresh peach.
If you're fresh peach and Wyatt is big wool. I like where this is going.
No one's ever compared me to a fruit before, but if it's a peach.
I find that hard to believe, right? Surely you've been told you're a tough nut to crack, or
that's not
like
fruit.
You're one of the bad apples.
No, nobody's ever called me a bad apple. I
Really?
don't get caught. I am sneaky as hell. So.
You don't get caught, huh?
No.
That's interesting. One day you're going to think you didn't get caught, and Rowan is just going to spout off and tell somebody something that you did, and you'll be like,
I'm sure
I didn't know anybody saw that.
I'm sure there's plenty of security cam footage that needs to get deleted somewhere, but no one's called me on it yet.
Well, with the amount of stuff you willfully put out on the internet, I don't think anybody's going to care about the security cam footage. They're like, yeah, that dude's already embarrassed himself. Like, we can find you on YouTube, man.
Yeah. I'll put it out there myself.
That you do. So any big announcements, anything going on in your world that we need to tell people about?
No, life is good. Pretty boring. Nothing really in the works except for that Tony Stark and Spider-Man print is in the process of being colored finally with the third color artist. But this guy, I like him. Fingers crossed it's gonna work out. So
now, are you a Saga reader?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Are you excited that Saga just came back from the 6-month hiatus that turned into 3 years?
Mm-hmm, absolutely, and I buy them in those massive compendiums.
Oh, you get the compendiums.
I can't do the weekly thing with Saga because I'm into it. I love it.
Got it. Well, you're still gonna have to wait a little while longer then because they just now came back this week.
Yeah. I'll hang in there.
I had one of my comic book store friends who owns another shop was like, this issue of Saga, make sure that's on the top shelf because that one made me blush a little bit. And I was like, how different from every other issue of Saga? What are you talking about?
Literally, the first panel of every book is there to make you blush, right?
Right. It seems to be pretty effective. So, that was interesting stuff. I'm like, well, all right, whatever works for you.
I love Vaughn, and I think him and Staples are a great team, so I'm excited about it.
Well, that they are. Well, let's see who all we got in the chat with us tonight. Let's see who made it. Everybody's trying to get in first. Let's see who we got. Tots is in first. Hey, you guys. Good to see you, Tots. And Kyle popping in with a surprise second place.
Hey, Kyle.
Kyle, you usually come in a little bit later on, man. That's awesome. Glad to have you on. How you doing? Zach Bringman. Zach, I don't know if you were up at the shop earlier today, but those awesome, beautiful D&D gift, alt-cover gift books came in today. And it is no lie to say they are beautiful. So if you hadn't already been by to get that, swing by. We got one for you. Tots again. Alan Breedlove is in the house.
Hey, Alan.
How you doing, Alan? Hope everything is going well. Everybody's just good. Christine. Look at that. Christine. We haven't seen Christine in a bit. But glad you're back, Christine. Appreciate it. I didn't think to ask if you got to choose what kind of fruit you wanted to be. What would you be?
I don't know. I'm gonna just steer clear of that question.
Really?
Just yeah, I mean, out of context, just dropping that in a conversation.
Maybe
You
you're a
know,
kumquat or a mango.
my mom has always called me a fruit, but not any
Ah,
particular fruit, just a fruit.
oh,
So I got to dial back. I have been called a fruit before.
uh-oh. Kyle says you've got an echo going on, Jeremy.
Oh no.
Spider Girl 42. Spider Girl, how are you? I have got a book that you need to see. If you can't tell, that is, let's see where they put their names. Yeah, right up there at the top. That is Tom DeFalco and Ron Friends. Got that in, and I know that's going to make you happy. You're going to need to get one of those. Mike Wesolowski is in the house. Hey, still doing Facebook. That's right. People on Facebook and YouTube. We do not espouse the violence that you two get to fight each other for that.
Shout out to Mike too, because we he gave some prizes to the show. We got one drop tonight, so it's good to see him.
Yeah, he always gives us prizes, and he does the most awesome stuff. It's really cool. We appreciate you, Mike. Yeah, Zach wants to borrow your Saga compendiums.
I've lent them out, and every time I do it, it's like a year before I get it back. So we'll talk.
Doug, yeah, there are other comic book shops out there. I don't know if you knew that. We only claim to be the best one at 1871 Slaughter Road. That's it.
Boom! Look at that. I had that ready to go.
Ooh, look at us. That's all fancy. We got
scroll.
our legal counsel in the house, Mr. Jeffrey Middleton. Glad to see you, sir. We also have our medical expert in the house to keep us from getting injured or to heal us once we get injured. We appreciate that. You never know what kind of injuries we're going to sustain on this show. You just never know. Let's see who else we've got in here. Boom, boom, boom. Got the conversation rolling. All right. Well, I hope everybody's ready to have a really fun show today because we have got an awesome guest, and I'm super excited about it. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest, the one, the only, Mr. Jonathan Hedrick. How are you, sir?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on.
For anybody who does not know, Jonathan Hedrick is a comic book writer who has got quite the list of credits to his name, including some books that are a little on the scary side, but ones that they're quite tough. And Recount is kind of a scary book, man.
Yeah, I'd say definitely.
That's not like, hey, let's have a birthday cake. That's a scary book.
Yes. Yep. It should be frightening. Yeah. If it doesn't frighten you, there's something wrong.
Yeah. So what was the? I think it's probably pretty obvious, but maybe I'm not. Maybe there's some deep-rooted psychological thing. What was the inspiration for you to? How did you come up with the idea for that?
Yeah, well,
just watching the news too much.
Probably. No, I wrote that in 2019. I always like to preface that. A lot of people seem to think that because issue 1 came out during the November 2020 election, and issue 2 came out right after January 6th, that I was pandering to those things, but those comic books were written well before all that.
If you were able to write a comic book, get the art done, get it produced, published, and put out on stands in that span of time,
right.
You have a superpower of your own.
Exactly. Sorry for this lighting. My cheap laptop camera will figure it out. 2019. I'm probably just getting sick and tired of everyone battling each other on which political party's the best on social media, and I just couldn't understand how people would be so supportive of this, would die on a hill for some of these politicians, and how they will blindly follow them because of some creative meme, and that's how they're getting their news too. That's how they're getting their research, like a 6-word meme, and then they're like, okay, that's what I'm going with now. That's my political belief. That 4-inch thing on my phone. I'm going to vote for that. I couldn't get behind it. So I thought to myself, would people vote differently if they were held accountable for their votes? So imagine a world where, all right, you have the freedom to vote, but if this guy sucks, then it's on you, and there's going to be repercussions for that. So it kind of spawned from that type of what if scenario.
That's a heck of a book, and it is terrifying. It absolutely is, because you don't think about it. But yeah, if you were to be held accountable lethally for your choices, you might think about things a little bit more seriously. You might do a little bit more digging.
Right.
Yeah. That's an extreme take. The fact that you had that put out before 2020, and I don't want to dive too deep into, can you see the future? How am I going to die? Let me know.
Oh man,
is there a can of peaches involved in his death? That's what we all want to know.
I'll tell you this. I remember when things were going down on January 6th, I was just shaking my head because the messages were coming in on my phone and like, oh, your comic book's coming to life. I'm like, this is the worst thing that could happen for my comic book, because people want escapism. They want, especially middle of COVID and things like that. People don't want to be entertained by the terrible things that are happening in our real life. So, the last thing I was going to do was try to pander to that. I stopped promoting the recount for a while, with Scout. My book was one of the first ones where they did that launch initiative window where issue 1 comes out, but then issue 2 is like 2 or 3 months later. So before that stuff went down at the Capitol, I was pushing them because I wanted people to remember, all right, issue 2, you got to get issue 2, got to get issue 2. Then that happened, and issue 2's cover is a clown face bleeding into like the White House. I'm like, well, now I can't promote this for a couple of days or weeks. So I just thought that was a more appropriate thing to do.
It's so interesting to hear you talk about it, because I would assume that your book has been hyper politicized, right?
Oh, yes.
Have you received like backlash or anything from that?
Oh, yes, from both sides of the aisle. And it's interesting. When it first was, released, the press kit and everything for it, early 2020, and I was getting things sent to me from people I never heard from or heard of before, and then I could tell right away who these people sided with, and then after our most recent election, some of those particular people are starting to follow me more and like me more and buy my books more. I'm like, well, at one point you thought it was, dissing your guy, and now it's pro your guy. I don't get that. Obviously, you're not reading what's happening between these covers. So
yeah,
but that's not everyone.
So let's talk about some of your other work, because you've done work for a few publishers. Who are some of the other ones what are some of your other books that people might recognize or they could pick up?
Yeah, so with Second Sight Publishing, that's where my zombie series is. Freak Show Princess, Freak Show Knight, and Freak Show Kingdom. And my zombie books with them are one-shots set in the same universe. So it's not serialized like the Walking Dead. It's more episodic, and they're, time in between each release. So I really enjoy writing zombie fiction. It's like I've always been a zombie fan. And
did you kickstart that too?
I did, yes. Yep. So look for more Freak Show titles coming out there. It's kind of like I do like a one shot in between all the other projects that I work on. That way I'm not constantly, just in the world of zombies. So
everybody's going to want to know, who's that you got in your lap there?
This is Tessa. She wants to, every time she hears me talk, she wants to join in on the action. So I'm just trying.
My wife is a retired school teacher. And when she used to read things out loud, it doesn't matter what it is. It's that professional out loud reading thing. she kind of sounded a little angry, and the cat would come running like, I
Oh,
love
yeah.
angry voice. Who are we going to murder today?
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, this is Tessa, and she will do this occasionally when I'm on these interviews once she hears me talking enough.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad she's part of the show. We have
Yeah.
a lot of dogs and cats that come through, so that's always
Yeah.
fun.
Got a support team.
And,
Cool.
Yeah, go for it.
No. I don't want to talk over you at all.
Oh, I was going to mention, just to promote the other title. I'm wearing this Scoot that's the Scouts All Ages imprint. I recently had a book come out with them called The Space Cadet, which
we've got it on the wall at the store right now.
Awesome. Thank you for carrying that. Yeah. Really proud of that book. That's I sat down and wrote that after I got done writing the recount, which was super heavy book, very draining on me mentally, and I needed to do something completely opposite of that. And the Space Cadet came from that, and it's a children's fairy tale. It's something that you could read before going to bed and have like a good night. I compare it to like Where the Wild Things Are or Goodnight Moon, and the artist on that, Stefano Cardicelli, is also who I worked with on Freak Show Night, which is a very violent zombie comic book. So it was cool for us to do like this violent zombie thing with gore, and then we did this all ages book, with inspiration and a nice story.
Yeah.
That's so funny because I played Lenny in Of Mice and Men in local theater, and I got shot in the back of the head every night for 2 weeks.
Oh God!
And so then I played. I knew I was going to need a refresher after that because that was going to be pretty depressing.
Yeah.
So 3 weeks after Of Mice and Men closed, I was a troll in The Hobbit, children's musical. So if you can't tell, I'm a really big dude, so I get typecast as really big dudes. But yeah, I knew that feeling you just described really hit home with me because I remember that very well. Like, I am going to need something to lighten the mood.
For sure. Yeah.
What are you working on now?
So I'm wrapping up.
Right now, he's mailing books out.
Yep. I've doing the fulfillment for Quicksand, issues 1 through 3. I'm also working on a book for Black Box Comics. That hasn't been announced yet. The title of the book, so I'm waiting for that publisher to do that. But I'm really excited about that because that's my first published work for hire job. Everything else has been, my own IP that I have to pay for everything, and for a publisher to be like, "Hey, we want you to write this story for us." That was a cool career move.
Awesome.
Expect more stuff from Quicksand. I have a bigger announcement about Quicksand later on this year, and the Recount preamble, which is a one-shot prequel to the Recount that comes out in May. That should be in the next month's previews.
Month's previews, yep.
Yeah.
So tell people about Quicksand a little bit, because you guys see all those boxes behind him there.
Yeah.
That's all of the boxes he's packing stuff up to mail out copies of Quicksand.
Yeah.
And some of those are going to be coming my way. So we're going to have those on the wall at the store. So tell people about it and let them know why they're going to definitely need to buy that.
So Quicksand is what I like to call a sci-fi horror story about this hole that opens up in the ground near the pyramids of Egypt one day. And these monsters come running out of it. They attack a nearby city and then run right back into the hole. And world leaders are like, what was that? We can't risk that happening again. So they send some experts down in there to do some research, but this team never comes back. So then the wife of the leader of that team, she wants to know where he went. And, she's a super badass like he was. So she's trying to figure out the mystery, and she wants to get her own team to go down in there as well. So my inspirations for it are kind of a deep cut, but if you ever seen Danny Boyle's Sunshine with a little bit of Stargate, and of course, the James Cameron's Aliens, there's a big nod to that. we really worked hard on these creatures to make sure that they weren't like, it's hard to come up with a monster that's a fresh take. Everyone's done monsters, but we had a lot of fun with this one. I wanted to do a sci-fi horror like this for a while, and to kind of flex my writing genres and creativity. So I hope people like it. If you like this military style, like James Cameron's version of Aliens mixed with some Stargate, you'll dig Quicksand. No pun intended.
With a little bit of Indiana Jones and Athena Voltaire, that's an awesome mix.
And
you said right up my alley.
Sorry, you said your new book's coming out from Black Box, right? Black
Box Comics, yeah, yep. So they did the Gin Hunter. They have another one coming out called Wilder. They've had Brian Hawkins, who works at Mad Cave. He's had a book at Scout. He writes for them. Chuck Dixon has had a book with them. So, yeah, I'm really proud to and can't wait for people to see this Black Box comic. I'm getting starting to see like the pages come back. So it's really exciting. I miss some of those comments.
You just got a lot of love. You got sci-fi horror.
You get things like this. Hold one for me.
Okay, good.
He said Aliens and Stargate. I'm sold. Sign
Awesome.
me up. Same. You had me at Pyramids of Egypt.
Nice.
Yeah. I told you guys this. I was excited for this book, and then I couldn't believe it because the Kickstarter just wrapped up like a week and a half ago. And he's already mailing copies out.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
That's my goal every Kickstarter. I don't mess around. We were talking before the show. I'm not going to leave excuses like paper shortage. If I knew the paper shortage was going to be a problem, I wouldn't have run a Kickstarter. I'm a reliable printer. I had I had all of issue 2 complete. Obviously, issue 1 was done because I did a Kickstarter for that. And the only thing we were waiting for on issue 3 was the colors. And that wrapped up during the campaign. And then I just needed the money from Kickstarter to pay for the print. And here we are. It ended on December 30th. And it's January 27th today. And I've been about 50% fulfilled already. So, and
Awesome.
the books look great. When you see... You backed the retailer tier, so you're going to get 12 foil covers, 6 of issue 2, 6 of issue 3, and they look awesome. Oh man, so stoked! I want to keep more, but I'm only allowing myself 1 copy of each.
Well, I hope you have enough for a reorder because I maybe have to place one because we're like politicians. We have to count how many people said they want it, and that many people times a certain number is how many are actually going to get it.
Yeah, there's a LCS ratio. I know. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, man, we so appreciate you coming on the show, and we're looking forward to testing your nerd knowledge.
Yes.
So we're going to see what you got. Owen puts our questions together, and Owen. I think might have done a little bit of Facebook stalking before he put the questions together. So let me scramble up because he just posted. Okay. So we'll see what that comes up with. We don't know yet.
Okay.
So, Jeremy, let everybody know the rules and what's going on while I go and dig up the questions because I haven't seen them yet.
Jonathan and audience, the way this game works is we're going to ask you some nerd questions. Typically, they're kind of pop culture. We branch out a little bit. We've been running for a little over a year, right? I don't know. Time has just melted. So we're going to ask you some questions. Typically, you would get whatever the prize is if you got the right answer. But my understanding is you're a consummate gentleman and have decided to magnanimously grant the audience the prize for every single question. So, audience, you need to be on your toes for every single one of these. The first person with the right answer in the comment section is going to get the prizes. Speaking of prizes, I think we should check out the prize cam.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we've got some tried and true prizes that we've had, every time now. We've got some stickers from Haven Comics. We've got a little sticker pack there for you. We do have some gelatinous feely things. You're not going to be disappointed tonight. And then with the gelatinous feely things, we also have that Witchblade. I'm pretty sure that's a print, right? We have that Witchblade print by Anthony Hockring. I'm definitely saying that wrong. We also have a voucher from CBCP Comics, so you can get your comics cleaned and pressed as you send them off to get graded. We have a $25 gift card from me. Also, always we're going to have comic book packs. It's a comic book store. And then if you will scroll up, Prize Cam, we do have this Spider-Verse print. I am including another one of my Spider-Verse prints to celebrate the fact that I still have not seen that movie, even though I want to very, very badly. Then we have the sketch cover of the night is going to be the Winter Soldier. That's from friend of the store, tripped up over myself there. Justin Lynch. Everybody knows Justin. And then we have a Frank Cho signed Shauna the She-Devil. So another thing that I am mad that I have to give away, Frank Cho. It's amazing. That's a good get for anybody who picks it up.
So is there anything there, Jonathan, that you look at and say, you know what? No, I really do want that one.
Yeah, that Spidey print. That was pretty cool. I like all of those. That's pretty nice. But
I got a bunch of those. I can send you one.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Jeremy worked very hard on that one for a long time.
For a long time.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Man.
Appreciate that.
It shows.
We've got some fun little comments in there. Yes, it says Kutasy. Yes, I spelled it wrong. It's never going to not spell things wrong. And then Christine says she's got some more prizes that she's going to make. That's awesome. Christine, we always love when you add prizes to the pile here. Yours are always special, and we appreciate it.
Check that out. I haven't seen that name in a while.
Hey, Travis.
Hey, Travis, how you doing, man?
All right. So, Jonathan, you feeling zen? You feeling in the zone here?
Let's do it.
All right, let's play. For a Haven Comics sticker pack, we've got magnets there. We've got big stickers, small stickers. We're running out of other stickers like Two Brothers and whatever. I've got a package coming in. But if you have a business and you want to put stickers in our sticker pack, just let us know. That's what you're going to win if you answer.
Now,
question 1.
Hang on just a sec, Jeremy, because we need to let Jonathan know. There's a little bit of a lag when we ask the questions, and so
true.
Don't shout out the answer right away. Give it a second so that the people in the audience have a chance to get it before cheating and hearing your answer.
Okay, gotcha.
Thank you for saying that. I would have forgotten. And then everyone would be mad. Yeah, everyone would be mad at me again for something new. But I earned most of them. So, Jonathan, it'd be nice if you took one for the team this time.
Okay.
One tonight. Okay. Question number 1. In 1987's The Lost Boys, what issue of Batman is Corey Haynes looking for when he meets the Frog Brothers?
Okay. First of all, I'm really impressed that someone, was it Owen that dug through my social media stuff? All right, that's. I know the scene very well, and I know I've had to look it up multiple times because I wanted to quote it. But Corey Haim, his character in Lost Boys, is looking for Batman number 14.
Yes, and we do have a correct answer in the comics or in the comments here. Nice. It is Batman number 14.
Was that a good lag?
No, that was perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Film Age Studios. That's not ringing a bell to me as to a human person, but Film Age Studios, if you touch base with us, we will send you some stickers.
Yeah, just hit us up on Facebook or send an email to the store at Haven Comics ETC, as in Haven Comics, etc., at gmail.com. Get us an address, and we'll get those stickers out in the mail to you. Yeah, issue number 14, and don't they say something about that there's only a handful of them in existence or something?
Yeah, it's like it's a real serious book. Only 6 in existence, 5 actually, and I'm always looking out for the other 4. I mean, that's such a cool line. And
That's such a great line.
the thing about that book is Corey Feldman was going to be at a MegaCon a couple years ago, and I wanted to get that actual book and have him sign it. But that one it's a very expensive book. You know, that's like Batman.
It's
14.
a serious book.
It's a serious book. So I played with the idea of actually making a fake, like a facsimile of just the outside one. I'm like, all right, now, Jonathan, you're going too far. You're not going down the rabbit hole just to get some signature from Corey Feldman on cool.
I don't know. That sounds like a totally reasonable thing to do to me.
Yeah.
So you bring up an interesting point, something I've mulled over quite a bit. Occasionally, there are comics that I'd love to do a sketch cover for, but they don't have sketch covers. You are a comic book producer, right? How do you feel about the custom cover in comics, where I would make whatever cover I wanted and then just, adhere it, staple it, whatever, to your book? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't bother me whatsoever. As long as you're giving a shout out to the creators, you're not mass producing it and turning it into like your own business and making a ton of money off of it. But to make like a unique blank, crossover cover because you can't, you wanted a different color or something like that. I don't see a problem with that whatsoever. It wouldn't bug me. I would be honored and flattered. So
awesome. That's cool.
That is just wrong, Owen.
I thought about doing that too. I thought about the new 52 version, but yeah, not the same.
No, definitely not. All right, question number 2. What's our prize for question 2, Jeremy? And big question I know is on everybody's mind. Did you ever find Ghost Rider?
Yes. Ghost Rider has been found. So what he means is these gelatinous feely balls here, otherwise known as erasers, have a running joke show within the show what Ghost Rider is doing with his life. So tonight, just living it up, taking a shower. This is a real fun use of my daughter's toys, and it's the best part of the show in a lot of ways. And then you also, Prize Cam, if you will zoom in, this is art by Anthony Hawkrain. Oh. Yeah, so you will also walk away with this that was donated by Mike Wazalowski. If you get that right, all you got to do is know a thing.
That's all you got to do. Know this particular thing. All right. So everybody, on The Office, what did Jim put in Dwight's phone to prank him into smacking himself with the phone? What did Jim put in Dwight's phone to prank him into smacking himself with the phone?
So
you feel confident with this one, Jonathan? You know this one?
Yes. Yep. And I know this one because John Krasinski said this was his favorite prank out of all the ones he said while he was playing Jim. And he filled up the phone receiver with nickels one by one and then took them all out.
So, hello. Oh!
Yes.
Yeah.
It is nickels. Correct. Travis Goodwin also was the first one in the comments to have that written out for us. Nickels. Man.
It's funny. The some of the animators at Disney way back in the day, they had a guy who was another animator in the shop there who had a pet turtle or tortoise. And over the space of a year, they replaced his tortoise with a bigger one.
That's terrible.
And then they slowly went backwards until he had his original tortoise back. And they said he never could figure it out because he was like, what is happening with this tortoise? And they thought, one of them convinced a guy that it was just a thing that these tortoises naturally do every couple of years as they expand and contract. And you're like, that is not right.
He's got Benjamin
That's
Button
insane.
disease.
Right.
Oh,
Wow.
man. Yeah, so this is what I was thinking. How did they find that many tortoises?
They live in California.
The tortoises to come back to.
They were in California and they had access to pet stores. I don't know.
Man. So how
he should have marked the tortoise like
yes.
He should have.
Yeah.
He should have, yes. Or taught it to come to its when you call it by name, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy, come here, Jimmy. That's not Jimmy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't even want to know because that was not
me
exactly
either.
a time when the ASPCA was a thing, right?
Right.
Oh man. All right. How you feeling? You in the zone? I feel
He's
like
2 for 2, man.
2 for 2, right? Yeah.
Yep. I'm digging it.
Okay. Let's go
What's
ahead.
our prize for question 3?
Our prize is Wyatt's presents.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
So Wyatt, he went ahead and named himself Big Bull today. It's
Listen,
stuck.
I figured I'd get ahead of it since I told you an old nickname and now it's sticking. So Big Wool, aka because I'm a heavy sweater, is what I have here. So I figured I'd just jump ahead of it. Stop you guys, take the fun out the joke, take the thing out a little bit. So yeah.
So Wyatt,
Love you, Wyatt. You're the man.
Trying to do what I can, but I can do it.
Wyatt runs the Blurred Syndicate, a brother program. I was going to call him a sister show for a second, but no. And they come on every week to donate prizes to our audience. This week, Wyatt has this for us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't really need to explain it. Mario is awesome. So
I've got a song running through my head now for some reason.
Which one? Because there's so many. Because all the time I heard.
Yeah, me too.
You must have got further in the game than me.
What is that?
It all just depends on where you started at. Because I think I started on Super Mario World 3, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was it. Plus, I had an older cousin, so whenever I couldn't, before there was YouTube, you had your older cousin play it, and then that's it. So, like, I can't beat this stage. I got you.
So that is a really slick poster this week. While we have you, is there anything you want to tell us about the Blurred Syndicate? Anything you guys are working on?
Well, we are doing like something that's actually coming out tomorrow. We did a wrestling episode where we talked about because there's a Royal Rumble that's going on Saturday. So we gave our predictions of who we thought was going on there, and then it was a little bit of a rant as well about how wrestling isn't as good as it used to be when we were younger. So definitely kind of aged ourselves, but it was a good little show. So it was really fun. Everybody got to talk about who their favorites were and what they liked about wrestling and what they don't like now.
So at what point in the show do you demonstrate your top rope moves?
Well, see, I was more of a ground and pound guy myself. No moonsaults, no nothing like that. I got one funny story where I rock bottomed my brother through my parents' bed. So after that point, I was done doing any wrestling moves. So yeah, so I was just like, well, I tried to like cover it up, be like, yeah, I just jumped on the bed, or I sat down too hard and I broke the bed. My folks were like, yeah, okay, and so they knew I was a big rock fan, and then my little brother was small and he got the business every once in a while.
That's funny. But
so
that show airs tomorrow, you said?
Yes. In my defense, my brother tried to kill me at least 3 times with fireworks, so I was justified.
I thought you said firearms.
I thought you did too.
That's an intense story.
Yeah, fireworks. Like one shot up my leg, one he dropped like the Roman candle, and then for whatever reason it was like a heat seeker, and it just went after me. Like I swear I went
a homing shell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, it wasn't all that pleasant. So he got his revenge in certain ways.
Yeah, I have many scars from my older brother.
See?
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, we're talking fire. We're talking a sharpened stick that he threw at me. He put a nail between his fingers like this and punched me. I got scars on my arm from that. Yeah.
No. Ethan loved me a little bit more than that. He was that's just like
You were the mean one.
No. I rock bottomed him one time.
I just heard you say
One
he was
time!
little and he got the business.
Well, I mean,
You
there
were
were certain moves. I mean, no, but I was really, really nice. I was like when we wrestled, I you know how as an older brother you can really kind of dig into him. You know, you didn't really. I didn't go that way. You know what I mean? Like when he would just be like, you know, there's an ow ow, and then there's ow ow ow. Ow.
Yeah.
So I stopped where it was ow ow. You know what I mean? So
Your story brought up an interesting story I have not thought about in years. I used to have a loft apartment, right? And so one of my friends was sitting up in the loft. I'm in the downstairs part of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I have not always been as, you know, cool and nice and fun as I am now. So I had a bunch of colorful smoke bombs. This like what you would get at a fireworks store.
Mm-hmm.
And I lit a few of them and I threw them up there. And of course he was like, what is happening, right? And it was funny to me. And he ran downstairs. And you know what I forgot? It was my apartment. It was my security deposit. So worth it. Joke's on me.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, my brother was kind of evil though. He you know how they had those how-to books when they were little kids about like medieval traps and things like that. Like
No,
my
never
brother
heard of
took,
that once.
yeah, my brother took one of those. It was like one where it just was kind of like a kid's like encyclopedia. So yeah. Oh gosh. Oh, so you were the test dummy. Oh no.
This is getting dark.
You know, I thought that's what he said too, Alan. I was like, wait a minute. Hang on now.
You don't throw those. We are getting super off track.
Super far afield, yes.
I'm sorry.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
I'm sorry, Jonathan.
No, it's a combo of everybody's fault, except for Jonathan's been weirdly quiet.
He must be an only child. That or he is the older brother. He's like, yeah, I did all that.
I'm 11 years older than my sister, so yeah.
Oh, but it's a sister. Yeah.
You can't really do as much, especially when
You get in way worse trouble for beating up a sister than you do a brother. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
All right, Wyatt, you ready to give us question 3?
Yeah, I got you. All right, so I got it. So in Pac-Man, which ghost has a name that doesn't rhyme with the other 3?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know this one.
So I don't know all the ghosts, but I know the one that doesn't rhyme is Clyde.
All right, there we go.
Yep, you're right.
Did we get somebody in the comments? We did real quick.
We did really fast.
Thoughts. So,
Perfect.
Of course.
Awesome.
I found this interesting graphic that I feel like it's an infographic explaining the Pac-Man game. Wanted to share that with everyone.
Wow.
That does explain a lot.
Well,
What's the other one's names? Inky,
Blinky, Pinky,
yeah,
and Clyde or something.
Pinky, Clyde.
Pinky, and Clyde.
Yeah.
So they all had kind of their own
Cobra.
Cobra Commander.
You said they all had their own little personality, what?
Yeah, AI routine. So Blinky was
Yeah.
constantly chasing Pac-Man. Pinky was attempting to ambush him. Inky did random stuff. So and Clyde would get close to the player and then attempt to flee to the bottom left corner, potentially cutting off escape routes.
Huh.
Yep, Tots is very excited about that. Says the Munchkin is going to flip.
Yes.
Congratulations, Tots.
We lost a comment up here earlier that cracked me up, so I want to scroll back up to that because that was funny. Yeah, books about medieval torture. We all had those.
Yeah, it was in the library book where it was like, hey, it was like a little kids one where it was like it talked about the moats and like how they would keep stuff in there. And I was just like, my brother was just attracted to it, which should have been a warning sign for me to not mess with it. But of course, not what I was doing there.
What's your favorite books? Well, I like Spider-Man and I like the Hardy Boys. What about you? Torture.
Medieval torture. So
Medieval torture. I'm building a rack in the backyard.
He definitely set up little booby traps in his side of the room, so he knew if somebody came over to his side. So I was just like, no.
See, my brother watched Rambo, and he set up traps out in the yard, like sharpened sticks and like I could have been killed.
I'm just happy you're here now, Josh. I'm just gonna be honest with you because he was punching you with nails and stuff, and that's just not cool.
That's what I was going to say. Have you had therapy for that?
It's not cool.
Yeah.
My therapy was I got bigger than he was. I grew up to be way bigger than him. And so it was like, try that again.
I love it.
So then he was the one that was saying, ow, 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 ow. So,
It's true.
Well, Wyatt, it's always good to have you. Thank you for coming on. And thank you for that prize. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing with us. And I'm working on these little banners for everyone. Should visit theboardsyndicate.com and see what he's working on. He's got some cool stuff there.
Yeah, there's actually a T-shirt that is kind of funny that I had the Pac-Man question because there's a T-shirt where Pac-Man is like Ryu and he's shooting out one of the I think it's one of the actual ghosts, and it looks like that. So it's pretty cool. So check it out.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Always glad to have you on, Wyatt.
All right, guys, take care. All right.
All right. It's always hard when we get off track because it's always super fun.
Yeah, as Doug pointed out, off track is kind of where we live.
Yeah.
So what's our prize for question 4?
Question 4, it looks like, hold on, I'm going to gear this up. We have another great sponsor. CBCP Comics has a service voucher for you to get one of your comics cleaned and pressed so you can send it off to CGC, they're all a C something, I don't know. And get it back looking crisp.
Adum Shabai.
Jonathan, you ever send your own books off just to have like an archival one?
Yeah, I have a ton of my own books slabbed that I use mainly just another source of revenue for conventions and signings. And I just started my own web store at the beginning of this year, so I have things like that on there because I try not to sell things that the LCSs and the publisher are selling because I don't want to compete with them. So I have links to the Scout web store on my web store so people can, I'd rather you buy it from a store or the publisher so they know that I'm, the comic books that I write are sellable.
Yeah.
So they order more. And the trickle down effect is fine by me. But the graded comic books is a good item to have because it's unique. It's not competing, not necessarily with an LCS. And plus, I don't get around much in the U.S., so I probably have the surplus of graded Jonathan Hedrick signed comic books. So it works out.
Right on. What's your store?
It's JonathanHedrickComics.com. So my name plus comics.com. So.
Now, you guys, whoever wins this certificate from CBCP, you can wait a couple of weeks. Whenever we get in our copies of Quicksand, you can get your copy of Quicksand. You can read it, love it, and then you can get him to clean and press it and send it off to CGC or CBCS. Get that puppy graded, bring it back, display it, be happy with it, and you'll always have that to show off. So that's a great thing to do. Then you have to buy another copy so you can read the first one again because you're going to want to do that.
I like the way you think, Josh.
Hey, you got to have the one to show and the one to read.
Exactly.
And sometimes you got to have more than one to read because you loan it out and you never get it back.
And you can't open the one that you're going to have graded. You can't touch it. You just immediately put it in something to seal it and send it off.
Yeah. All right. So for the gift certificate, the voucher to CBCP, let's go a little bit into the future here, shall we? In Star Trek Deep Space Nine, don't forget to give the audience a minute to get the right answer. In Star Trek Deep Space Nine, what quadrant is home to the shape-shifting race known as the Founders?
Oh, man. Now I'm more baffled that was a question that someone pulled up from my social media. I'm not sure what quadrant is home to the shape-shifting race known as the Founders. Man,
sometimes we fill in questions, with general stuff.
Okay. I appreciate it. Man, I'm going to guess the name of the quadrant is...
I'll give you a hint. It is going to be a Greek letter.
Oh, okay. Let's say Alpha.
That's the one we're in now, so it's not that.
Oh, okay. Omega.
I didn't know that. We're in the Alpha Quadrant.
We're in the Alpha Quadrant.
Yeah.
Something new every day.
That's sorry, guys. The Star Trek. I'm a big Star Trek fan, but Deep Space Nine, I'm not. That's not my strong areas from their series.
Well, Tots was.
Oh, that's good.
Did you say Tots had it first?
Are we talking about a Cartesian quadrant? I need to know. But the correct answer, the first one we got up here, is Tots. Tots is having a night.
It's always interesting to see who walks away with something because Tots got it there first, but also at the exact same time we had Mike, we had my mom weirdly knew that one, like all at the same time. So all at 7:51. So those guys hit send at the same time, and it's just their internet. Wow.
Hey, I'm going to point out, if you guys haven't hit the like button yet, you better do that, because otherwise you're going to make Alan very angry, and you don't want an angry Alan Breedlove coming after you.
I have a banner for that.
Ooh! There's a banner for that, yo.
Trying to be ahead of things. All right. So, Jonathan, you have not seen the show before. This is question 5. Question 5 is for the audience only. So, you can answer, but give them a chance first, too, because it's an audience-only question. And typically, the prize would go to just them. But you're a gentleman. You've given them all the prizes, so they all know that. All right. So, question 5. It is the... Let me find that video. It's a Canadian bonus question where we honor our brothers and sisters in the Great White North. This question is about Canada, and you can win. This is a gift card to Haven Comics where you can purchase all of your hopes and dreams as long as they're under $25, because that's all I'm going to spot you. That is donated by Jeremy Bernal, the realtor, who's me. That's me. And the more we zoom in on it.
He doesn't always wear a hat, people.
Still me. All right, getting rid of that.
Wow.
Okay. The hat's a trademark at this point.
You could replace, the meme of the guy and the girl walking this way, and he's looking over his shoulder at the girl walking that way. You could totally replace that dude's face with your face in that picture. Somebody with Photoshop, get on that.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but I'll take it. All right. If somebody with Photoshop asks me, I'll send you that photo. I got it cut out. It's a PNG. You can just have it. You do have to work for you. All right.
Is that your answer to the Canadian question? I think that's what that is.
Oh, Volvo. Okay. Which Canadian province chooses to opt out of daylight savings time?
The smart one.
Daylight savings time sucks.
Now, this I did not know. So this is like the Arizona of Canada.
Yeah, I can't even name all 7 provinces. I'm proud that I know that there's 7.
Congratulations.
Well, we got a
The
correct
prize
answer.
cam just yelled at me and said, "There's not. There's 10. There's 10
There's
provinces."
10? Oh,
10.
God. All right. Back to school.
Well, we got a correct answer.
Saskatchewan. Now, Saskatchewan, I don't know if the prize cam is Canadian. So the prize cam is probably the one that needs to answer this. But Saskatchewan is, I think that was where she went for her like study abroad. Like it's real different for them. Still Canada. All right.
I like that it's like study abroad. Stay within your own country, but it's like study abroad. That's what people say about coming to Alabama.
So Canada, right? Like this is Canada, right? People can only live in this much of it. Like it's a wild, crazy, like uninhabitable terrain. It's awesome.
I did. I went to Robert, Saskatchewan.
The prize cam went to Robert, Saskatchewan. That was her. What is it? Like it's not study abroad.
It was like where students from there came over to stay in Toronto, and then we went over to stay there.
What is that called?
I forget, but we had another one too. The other one was to the Northwest Territories, and I did not want to go there
Why?
because it's all ice.
Because it's all ice.
And because they were like camping in the ice, and you had to like poop in the snow.
Yep. My wife did not want to poop in the snow. Now everybody knows that. Okay. So this show is my favorite thing. This is my favorite. Because you never connect to anybody in the way that you do in this show week after week.
That's a true
I've made
statement.
so many close friends from this. Okay.
You know, we actually
love
let him
that.
off the hook, and you didn't ask Jonathan your weird, like, meta question.
Yes. I need to ask. If you were a fruit, what fruit would you be?
That is not your kind of question. You don't ask things like that.
Oh, man.
Jeremy
No.
always asks these really bizarre, like, esoteric questions.
I'm not a small talk guy, right? Small talk is so boring to me. So whenever people are small talking, I just shut down. And then whenever people like talk to me or try to talk to me, I always ask questions like, what happens when we die? Which I asked an Amazon chat representative who was not having it. I'm turning on my phone. I made an app called Truth or Truth. It's just invasive questions. So I'll pull it up, and then when it's up, I'll ask you one, so you don't
Sounds
feel
good.
left out.
Okay.
Now, we don't want him to feel left out. We want to know Jonathan's soul on a deep spiritual level.
I gotta admit, I feel like I like you as a person already. So I'm excited.
Oh, thank you.
To
Yeah, I
learn.
appreciate
We'll ask like, what's the worst thing you've ever done in your life? That kind of
Oh,
stuff.
okay. Yeah.
I mean,
That
Not
the
bad.
statute of limitations is expired on.
Okay.
That's important.
Right.
what are we doing for question 6?
All right.
Just,
That's variants.
Prize variant pack. So Wolverine, Iron Man, and Avengers Empire. So
And a nice little Spider-Man She-Hulk tango, or is that a Skrull? I'm guessing that's a Skrull.
that's She-Hulk, right? That's got to be She-Hulk.
Yeah, she doesn't have a Skrull chin.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So-
doing a nice little tango there. Now I'm just thinking about True Lies, which was an excellent movie.
Oh yeah.
All right, so question number 6. Folks, you had better be quick on this. All right. What book did Stephen King purposefully let go out of print because it depicted a school shooting?
Yeah.
Man, I want to say it's one of his harder to find ones. Not his more common
He
ones.
wrote it in 1977,
Mm.
and it has been out of print since 1998, the year before Columbine.
I'm gonna say, is it called Gun?
Not this one.
Ah, darn.
There might
okay.
be one called Gun, but not this
Yeah,
one.
I know
see
he
your
wrote-
right answer.
Yeah. He there is a book that I have on my Amazon wish list called Gun that I've been written by him, so that's why I didn't. I was guessing that one, but Rage, yeah, that makes
That's a good
sense.
guess. That's a
Yeah.
good guess. Yeah. So
I have never even heard of that book, and I've read a lot of Stephen King, so that's
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. I've had the honor of meeting him before,
Oh, cool.
and I have a book signed by him. And yeah,
Rock on.
so yeah, he's a big influence on my writing, and he's an awesome person in general. If you follow him on Twitter, yeah, he's a smart dude, and I've been seeing something floating around all day today about books being banned. What he said about that, I guess because of the whole mouse thing, some school or somewhere in Tennessee is banning that book, which is funny because I bought that book at a Scholastic Book Fair in 4th grade at a public school here in Florida.
Why are they banning mouse?
I know that
The Holocaust was too violent, right?
Exactly.
Let's not talk about it.
Right.
More like, did it really happen kind of a thing is what these people are. That's what these people are espousing.
Yeah.
They're banning one of the most preeminent comic books of all time.
That is on my shelf. These are as good as it gets.
Right.
That makes me so mad. I don't want to hear about that.
That's probably the same town that Footloose was based off of too. So.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so Tots walked away with that comic pack. Now I'll make good. Truth or Truth, hundreds of invasive questions. It is free, and because not that many people support it, also the ads don't even play. We don't have enough traffic on this to get ads, so you will. I'm not gonna ask you that one on air. Ooh, okay. This one is good.
All right.
If you knew that your partner, we're assuming that you're in a relationship for this. If we knew that your partner was going to die, would you tell them?
Oh, wow. I'd say yes. Yeah. And I do that out of jealousy because that's one of those situations where you don't know how what to do because you've never been in this scenario before, so you're doing what you would want to do. So you'd have to take I would want to know.
Yeah, it really takes on a whole different meaning depending on how you tell this person, right?
Yeah.
If you're like, honey, I got to tell you, this is what I know that this is going to happen, versus you've got a knife and you're like, honey, you're going to die.
Yeah.
It really means something very different.
Sounds like a good episode for like Black Mirror or something like that.
Yeah.
Painful show. Wow.
That's kind of questions they sit with you, right? But it's like, would I really want to know, or would I just want to live, and then just one day
well,
didn't think about it.
If someone knew and I went to work that day,
right?
Like,
that's when you come back and haunt that person.
Yeah. That's
I'm working really hard on this promotion.
Right.
Maybe take
my oil change that day. It's like, why?
Yeah, as Doug said, context is king. How you say it is very different, very important.
Right.
That's
a good point there, Spider Girl. What a weird way to promote it.
It's free and nobody uses it. Yeah.
No,
we're actually getting a lot more. I get a lot of traffic in other countries, I find, but whatever. I would put on clean underwear.
That's true. Make sure you put on clean underwear.
Todd, you should do that every day. Just live every day like it's your last day. Just change them out.
Well, don't you get like 4 wears out of a pair of underwear? You wear them frontwards, backwards, inside out, and then outside in.
Are you going with the Big Hero 6 methodology? Because then I think you get to turn them around too.
But yeah, that's why I said inside, frontwise, backwise. Yeah, yeah.
Gross.
Gross. Hey, Captain Comics is in the house. Haven't seen you in a bit. How are you, Captain? You let me spend the last day of my life at the DMV.
Right.
That's the worst. That's like you're in hell before you die. Why?
So, question 7. I am giving away this Spider-Man print. It's not any particular anything. It's just my own.
You're just a fan of Spider-Man, so you
Yeah.
drew all of the Spider-Man.
At a certain point, it was hard to get different ones. At a certain point, I was like, I could just make this smaller, I guess. But I didn't. It's 11 by 17. I love it. I'm proud of that. Jonathan, I will send you one. Make sure we have your address. We'll send you some stickers too, I'm sure. And audience, if you want to win that, all you got to do is be the first person to answer this next question. And we're on question 7, which means I have to play my video to write off anything I buy for this show. The real estate question is a place. Is it a fictional place? Is it a real place? You tell me. Okay, so audience, Jonathan, the question is, what was the name of the community led by the governor on The Walking Dead?
So talk your way through this one and tell us how you get to this answer.
Big fan of The Walking Dead. That's why they pulled that one up. So I appreciate that. And funny, I brought up The Walking Dead earlier, in comparison to the Freak Show. I love The Walking Dead. That was one of the few titles in a long time where I was religiously reading as it came out. And I can totally respect the wanting to wait to their, get the compendiums and the trades. I do that a lot for other series, but this one I had to follow. But the governor was the leader of Woodbury.
That is correct.
Tots is racking up the prizes tonight.
Nice.
I think Tots has that too. So you can just have 2.
Now, what did you think of the way that he ended the series? Totally by surprise, out of nowhere, he had solicited the next issues as a total fake out to retailers. And just randomly at issue 193, chop.
I think that's awesome. First of all, good for Kirkman for doing that. And I have a funny thing about that. So one of my local LCSs knows Robert Kirkman fairly well and was able to do this live stream with him a year before Walking Dead, the comic book series ended. And so we all got to ask him questions and things like that. And this was right after the 15th anniversary of The Walking Dead, where they did those blind bags and things like that. So I asked him, what are you planning on doing next year to top your Walking Dead thing? And he must have already known that the series was ending. And he kind of just gave me some shifty answer, Image came up with that whole 15th year, so I'm not sure what they're going to do next year. But he knew that it was gonna end. But I think that was really cool. There's nothing worse than when comic books being solicited and they pretty much tell you what's going to happen. Or all right, so Death of Wolverine, issue number 1. For 7 issues. Okay.
Yeah, the one thing you're guaranteed is that Wolverine is not going to be dead at the end.
Yeah. And the only thing worse than that is when Loki dies in War of the Realms, and the next month they solicit a mini-series of his own title. Then it's like, come on, guys. Give us a chance to actually mourn these fake characters.
So I got a Robert Kirkman story for you that I think you as a comic creator who goes to shows will appreciate, right? Mm-hmm. If you cast your mind back a ways to when he was doing Battle Pope.
Oh, wow.
You remember Battle Pope?
Yes.
I was going to Wizard World Chicago, which is one of the biggest shows in the country at the time. This is 2004, 5, 6, somewhere in there. And my guy who was running the store for me, Ultimate Josh, I said, what do you want me to bring you back from Chicago? And he said, get Robert Kirkman to draw me a picture of Battle Pope giving you the finger and just saying F you. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's what you want? And he's like, that's what I want. So I walk up to Robert Kirkman and I say, this is what the guy who's running my store wants. Can you? And he's like, are you sure? And I said, yeah, I asked him the same thing. That's what he wants. He's like, okay. So he draws out this battle pope, giving you the finger, big F you. And you know how when you get sketches done at shows, you walk around and whenever you get somebody else to do a sketch, they always look at what else you got, right?
Yeah.
Everybody was like, flip. Whoa. This is awesome. They
Very
loved
cool.
it. But yeah, that was hysterical. And that's one of Ultimate Josh's favorite pieces of art is that piece from Robert Kirkman.
Yeah. That's a prize right there.
So, okay. Kirkman, I'm going to give him his due about ending on 193 when he wanted to end. I respect that. Hardcore respect that. But
the fake out with the solicits for the next 2 issues, though, that's where I really give him credit.
can we talk about the pendulum swinging back on that? Rick Grimes 2000. Yes. Tell me what you guys think about that, because I saw it and I got so mad. I couldn't go past the free issue that I got.
Yeah, I haven't touched any of those Skybound. Not out of refusal to do it. I just haven't got a chance to read any of them. I mean, my read stack is tall, so I didn't even know about that Rick Grimes 2000. Sounds like he's just letting other people play around in the world. It
was like a big what if.
Yeah. Okay.
Was it?
The whole thing was like a big what if. Yeah.
Okay. I should give things a chance.
It's not. It wasn't to erode the story. It was just like a giant what if.
Cool. Yeah.
It was very strange, but it was a big what if. Yeah.
I saw that and
right.
got heated. So,
what's our prize for question number 8?
So this is a weird little thing given to the show by Justin Lynch, and is it good? Is it cool? I don't know. Tell me. It is Superman on Radio. It is the complete collection of the radio show.
The old radio show from back in the day?
Absolutely. Prize, can we zoom in on the details of that?
Oh, that's super cool.
Pretty amazing, and it's like a Smithsonian edition. So
I love those old radio dramas. Those are excellent.
Yeah, pretty cool little thing. I'd never seen it. I'd never thought about it. And when he handed it to me, I was like, this is rad.
Yeah.
So.
We don't have all night, Alan. We can't be talking about G.I. Joe moving to Skybound right now. Yeah, everybody thinks that's pretty cool, dude. Everybody's excited about that.
Yeah. That's like the original podcast back then.
Yeah.
Right. With killer sound effects live that they were doing live on the radio. Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right. So, question number 8. Let's see what kind of nerd you really are.
Uh-oh.
In The Princess Bride, where does iocane powder come from?
Wow. Man. First, I wanted to think of like a geographical thing, but I think it's like an animal or like the bones.
No, you were right. Your initial instinct is correct. It's from a location.
Yeah. I'm not going to get this one. I don't know that movie that well, but I do use the GIF a lot for the "As You Wish."
Fair enough.
Yeah.
First correct answer I see is
Australia.
Tots again.
Tots killing it.
Tots.
Was that Australia?
Yes.
Australia.
Iocane powder.
Real place.
Yeah, I was thinking it was going to be something like in Lord of the Rings-esque type place that I couldn't pronounce, like Saskatchewan or something.
Yeah, no, odorless, tasteless, dissolves instantly in liquid.
Fake, terrible, made-up places like Canada.
Yeah, Owen says you use Princess Bride gifts a lot.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I love them. Anybody want a peanut?
How does it feel to know that somebody trolled you real hard digging super deep in your social media for this.
I've wanted to go back into spend like a day and go back into my Twitter feed and look and clean it up anyways. So maybe now's a good time to do that.
It's too late. It's already been ported over here now.
I'm glad we got through it before you had a chance to.
Numenor, yes. Are you a Tolkien fan at all, Jonathan?
I would say a casual one. I mean, I never read the books. I fell asleep during the cartoons when they played in public school. I did enjoy the Peter Jackson ones, but when they announced the show for, was it Amazon Prime or Hulu?
Yeah.
I was
Amazon.
like another show that I'm not going to have time to watch. Great.
I tell you, I was super excited for Amazon to get this and all the money they're pouring into it and all the things they're doing. Really excited. And then I watched a few episodes of the Wheel of Time series that Amazon's doing. It's beautiful, but it is extremely clear that they have zero idea what the story is about and what's supposed to happen.
Is that based
They just don't get it. They don't get it. And so, I mean, at a fundamental level, plot-wise, critical, fundamental stuff is just totally wrong. And, it ruins the entire story. Where can you go from there? And now I'm just like, the Lord of the Rings is going to suck, too.
Who knows? Could be the best thing ever. I thought that show Titans was going to be terrible.
Titans is good.
And it's awesome.
I really enjoyed Titans. I thought it was going to be terrible too, and I had to be convinced to watch it. But when I finally was like, okay, I'll watch it, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
I love that show gives itself a minute to breathe. Like the things that are happening in it are insane, but whereas most of them, like Arrow or whatever, like you're not really processing anything. It's just a bunch of talking heads about whatever crazy thing is actually going to happen. I feel like Titan lets you sit in that thing and then you kind of feel it with them. So I really like that too.
Especially that first series where it felt like they're on their run. They're like holed up in like a motel room or something like that. It's like, wow, this is actually probably the things that they'd be doing. But there's still the action that you needed and the powers and things like that. So
like a human story, and they just happen to be metahumans. So.
Right.
Oh, that's a good point, Spider-Girl. Good Omens was very good. Then again, the source material for Good Omens is also very, very short compared to the Lord of the Rings and the Wheel of Time. But yes, Owen, you did convince me to watch Titans, and it was very good. All right.
I think you convinced me too. For question, we have another Justin Lynch prize. This is The Winter Soldier. It is a sketch cover. He has graced it with just looks like some Sharpie and turned out really slick. So I'm into it. All you got to do here is answer question 9, and we all know that is. So our local artist spotlight is Justin into it. Justin has given prizes to the show before, and then when he won because he got the right answer, has taken them back.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
Got a lot of grief for it too.
Okay, so for that comic, making her debut in Detective Comics number 33 in 1939. So throw your head back just a little bit. I'm sure you remember when this came out.
To the era of Detective or of Batman 14.
Right.
Who was Batman's first love interest? She was brought back in New 52 to date Bruce once again.
Okay. So Detective 33, that's what it was?
Detective Comics 33, 1939.
God, I'm blanking on her name. It's 2 S's. Silver St. Cloud. No?
Not this time. Not this time. Let's see. Do we have a right answer? Tots is kind of right. It is Julie. I don't know that I would count that. I feel
That
like
could be Julie anybody. Jackie's got the whole thing.
exactly. I think Jackie's got
Julie
the whole
Madison.
answer.
Okay,
Julie
all right.
Madison.
Yeah. All right. Wow.
So, hang on.
Do you just randomly have that one behind you?
No, I don't have that
Signed by
one.
Bob Kane and Bill Finger.
No, I don't have that one, but I've got
Those treasury collection ones.
I'm just gotta see. This is. So you said that they broke up in Detective number 49.
Originally, she was engaged to Bruce till Detective Comics number 49. She was an actress called off. I don't know. I'm
So
misreading
in this comic, Detective number 48, he's engaged to this person.
Wow. Look at that.
Looks like it.
Whew.
I know you just wanted to show that comic off.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'll show you my favorite thing. I think I've showed it on here before, but it cracks me up because these came out within months of each other, right? You got Batman number 6.
Mhm.
And look at that cover really close. I know the glare is awful, but look at the pose that these guys are in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now look at this.
Is it the exact same pose? The glare is really bad on it. Yeah, looks exactly the same.
Yeah. It's like
He
when
stole from himself.
the Disney animators using the same cell in Robin Hood and Jungle Book, you know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, that's. I didn't know Batman was engaged to somebody in this book, so that was a shocker to me.
Some deep cut Batman trivia right there.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Copy and paste for the win. So Jackie walks away with this sketch cover, right?
Nice.
Yep.
Okay. All right. We're coming up on the end. I feel like this has been a relatively quick show. Jonathan, is there anything that you want to make sure we know when we walk away from this episode?
Other than that, they need to buy Quicksand as soon as we get it in.
Yes. Go to Haven Comics for Quicksand and pick up all the copies of Space Cadet that they have. And once they're sold out of Space Cadet there, go to Scout and order from there. Be on the lookout for the Recount Preamble. Should be soliciting soon for a May release. And JONATHANHEDRICKComics.com. Yeah, that's enough shameless plugging right there.
We love you. We're happy to have the shameless plugs. I mean, you spent a lot of time with us talking about your process and your story, and we're happy to support you.
I appreciate
it. We have a very supportive audience.
We do. Every time we have a comics creator come on, our folks get as excited about it as they are. So they're like, "Hook me up. Where do I get this?"
That's awesome. Cool.
We love supporting local folks and indie comics creators. I mean, we've got some of Jeremy's comics up on the wall at the store. We've got several of Brian Silverback's books on the wall at the store, which means we've got books that you wrote. Quite a few there. We've got some Apex. Got all kinds of stuff up there. So yeah.
Nice. Yep. The good old Kara Prime stuff. Yeah.
That's right. We got quite a bit of that. I actually had somebody walk in the store the other day. It was a Saturday a couple weeks ago. This guy walks in, and he's looking around. He asks, "What do we have that's independent stuff or what have you?" Right? And so we kind of just show him some stuff because we don't segregate it off like it's its own weird thing. We have it mixed in with everything. So you don't look at it and go, "Oh, well, these are my pity buys or whatever." You buy because you're interested in it, right?
Yeah.
So we show him, and he looks around and he goes, that's Kara Prime? You have that? I'm like, yeah. He's like, dude, awesome. This has got some awesome writers in it. So he picked up a copy, and then he came back 5 minutes later and said, my buddy doesn't have this at his LCS. Can I get one for him too? And I'm like, well, gee, I don't know.
No, we will not sell you this product.
Limit is one.
Just one. But yeah, he was very excited to pick it up. It was great.
Yeah,
great.
Brian, I know he's doing his next Kickstarter is going to be like an all ages style version of the Terra Prime stuff. And I think the one after that, I'll have another floppy that'll be in that one that I wrote for my character Arctica, which is the cybernetic polar bear, which is
That's the coolest looking bear.
Thank you.
Love the look of that character.
I'm so proud of that too. I really channeled my 90s Image Year One fandom with that one. So, yeah.
But anytime you're doing anything with Brian Silverbacks, it's like he channels the 90s in his art.
Oh yeah,
hard. Sure. And so if you're putting some 90s stuff together too, the two of y'all are a perfect marriage. It's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, those projects are a lot of fun to do. Yeah.
While we're talking about
now, didn't you also write the? Maybe I'm misremembering the kind of Star Trek-y,
for
very adult Star Trek book.
Yes, Terry.
Yeah.
Brian and I co-wrote that one, and that is a. I like to compare it to the Orville. You know that show on.
The Orville.
TV meets Vault's Money Shots. So that is the comparison of those two. So it's raunchy humor with zombies in outer space style one shot, and it kind of if those of you that are familiar with Loggerhead and some of his other Terra Prime stuff, it takes it to another dimension where they're in outer space and shows how large his universe is too. So it was a fun, cool little tale to write, and I have a lot of fun.
The bit that cracked me up was the transporter technology and how you accidentally transport two people instead of one.
Yeah.
I was dying.
I'm glad you laughed.
Because he shot that over to me. He's like, hey, can you proofread this for me?
Oh, cool.
Because Brian's spelling is not Brian's strong suit. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, man. So putting in all the right commas and spells, absolutely, you got it.
Yeah.
So I'm reading this, and I'm just like, I'm dying. I was dying.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's fun stuff. All right, so question number 10. We've got this pretty awesome Frank Cho signed comic. You don't get a signed Frank Cho book that often. And got some Shanna the She-Devil there, signed by Frank Cho. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's going to make people people are going to be fighting over this one, I think. So, for that awesome book, guys.
Hold on. We got to question 10. We made it all the way through the show.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's getting away without me playing this video. That's the only reason I do the show anymore, is to get to play the video.
Hell yeah.
I love that little 80s video. It's the best.
That looked like that was playing on the arcade machine in the back of the Max on Saved by the Bell.
Right? It's like
Rad Racer meets
The Hunter.
Yeah. Spy Hunter. Yeah.
Spy Hunter. That was it. God, that was a great game. Well, that's a good point.
Oh, well, I mean, if Josh wants me to put some SIGs on his Kickstarter reward books, just let him know, so that way you don't have to mail them back and forth.
Yeah. If whenever you get to our stack, just sign them all if you don't care. If you're charging for that, let me know and I'll pay you for that too, because we like to support our creators, and that means you have to put money in their pocket so they can eat and create.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah,
that's important. So let us know. So cool. Question number 10. Cast your mind back to 1985. In Back to the Future, what song did Marty and his band play for their audition to the school talent show?
And
if you know the answer, you have to sing it.
Okay. All right. So it was definitely something by Huey Lewis in the News. And I know Huey Lewis was one of the judges. He makes a cameo. Yep. It's just too darn loud.
Yep.
I want to say it was don't take money, don't take fame, don't need no credit card to ride this train. Oh God.
That's the
It's a song, but I'm
right.
trying to get to the chorus.
That's the
Power of love. Power of love.
There you
Yes,
go.
yes.
I knew you could get there.
Yeah, thank you.
And
You can get there.
first person in the audience to get it right is actually going to be Alan Breedlove.
Hey,
on getting that signed book. We had one creator that came on. Refresh me, Josh. What was his name? But he also was a gentleman and said, "Hey guys, you just give these, give all of these to your audience." And then we got to the signed book at the end, and he was like, "No, I want that."
Oh, it's Jim Calafiore.
Yeah.
It was Jim Calafiore. He was like, "Wait a minute, no, that's really cool. I would actually like to have that. I want to play for that."
Oh,
I don't remember if he won it or not.
I think whoever did win it gave it.
Tots won it, but donated it to him. That's right. That's right. Yeah, no, that Jim Calafiore. If you haven't ever met Jim or you don't know Jim, he's one heck of a creator, and he's been around for a long, long time. And he actually's got a book I think you would probably enjoy. It's called Ned, Lord of the Pit.
Okay, I'll look
It's
that
like
up.
this. It's this really He kickstarted it, but it's this really entitled, irritating actor who, like, he can't even be bothered to show up for his auditions, but then he's mad that he doesn't get the part. He finds this. He starts to see this demon. Like, he's just walking around down the street, and he's like, "What the?" And he starts to get freaked out because he keeps seeing him, and he thinks he's losing his mind. But finally, the guy talks to him, and he's like, turns out that his dad is like the devil, and he's time for him to get involved in the family business.
Okay.
But he's such a slacker. He's like, wait, what? I don't want to be the Lord of Hell. I mean, that sounds like a job.
Right. Yeah,
It's a very funny book.
sounds like a little.
And I
twist
think with
on
your
Little
sense of
Nicky.
humor, you would enjoy it.
Yeah, that's right up my alley. Yeah, I'll check that one out. Very cool.
But yeah, Jim Calafiore, he's an awesome artist. He's a super great guy, great creator. Been doing this a long time. And boy, he was sharing some behind the scenes stuff about working for Marvel and DC and all these guys.
Yeah.
That was really cool because he's like, yeah, this is just how it is. This is how you know. And he wasn't like bitter. He wasn't glorifying it and saying it was better than it was. He was just telling stories about how things were. And it was really cool.
He did not make it sound like a good job.
Well, no, he didn't gloss it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that about him, but it was just like, here's what it is. All right.
Yeah, I'll definitely come back. Thanks, Mike, for that comment. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. Maybe next Kickstarter rolls around or something, or whatever. Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Hit us up before or during. Hit us up during the Kickstarter.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And let us know, because I mean, really, there's a lot of love in this audience.
Well, we're going to carry it at the retailer level anyway. So let us know. You guys are excited for it. But quicksand, just so everybody knows, that's the first 3 issues.
Yep. So yeah, they'll be getting the first 3 issues out of 5. So yeah, I launched issue 1, but by the time I was ready to do the Kickstarter for the next one, I had so much done for issue 3, and I was like, why not? So.
Well, like I said, I hope you got a few extras printed because I can already tell you I'm going to need more.
Just let me know. Yeah.
I will. I'll be messaging you here pretty soon.
So real quick,
thank you for coming on, man. We really appreciate it. You've been a lot of fun.
Thanks. This was a blast.
Real quick, let me reiterate the prizes before we head off today. So the stickers went to Film Age Studios. Film Age Studios, if you're here, I don't know who to give it to yet. So just hit us up with a message, and we'll get it off to you. The Feely Balls and art went to Travis Goodwin. Congratulations, Travis. Tots picked up the Mario poster, the CBCP gift card, the comics pack, the spider print, and then Jonathan, make sure we have a place to send that to you too. And then Kim Middleton picked up the $25 gift card to Haven. Tots also got Superman on radio. Tots just killed it this time. Jackie got the Winter Soldier sketch cover. And then Alan Breedlove got the signed Frank Cho, Shaun of the She-Devil comic. So congratulations, everybody. And Jonathan, yeah, I'm really glad you came on. It was a really good time to actually sit and talk to you and hear your experience with all the stuff you've been working on. So
yeah, I think this is an awesome format. Kudos to you guys for doing this. I've done plenty of these, YouTube shows and things like that, and you can tell some people have it polished more than others. But yeah, this is a cool format. I like.
We don't know what that's like because that ain't us.
Well, I mean, polished.
We're getting
You got graphics. You're bringing in surprise guests. You're giving away prizes. So yeah, keep up the good work, and you got a following, so that's awesome too. So yeah, I love how it's tied to an LCS. That's really important as well. I thankfully have 3 close LCSs in less than 20 minutes from me that are all supportive of me, and I wouldn't be where I'm at right now in comic books if it wasn't for those stores supporting me. So
that's awesome.
Support your local comic book stores.
You want to give them a shout out? Go ahead and shout them out. So next time somebody's down your way, they can stop by some cool comic shops.
Famous Faces and Funnies, the biggest one here in Melbourne, Florida. They also run a ton of Facebook Live auctions. So check them out. 9.9 Comics, lots of good high-end collectibles there, and Kingdom of Comics. So they're all like in this close 20-minute radius from me, and they've been big supporters. Can't thank them enough.
9.9, that's a good name.
Yeah, and what's cool, the owner Matt, he prides himself on how pristine the things are in his store. He doesn't have a huge back issue collection, and doesn't carry a lot of. He gets what people sub for, and that's it. Because he doesn't want books that are, being manhandled.
Going to stagnate.
Exactly. Yeah. So you go in there. He'll have some back issues, but you go in there for those collectibles, those big hot toys, and I can afford any of those things. So I don't know names, but the sideshow collectibles and things like that. So
oh, that's a good one, Tots. Florida man crushes Huntsville quiz show.
Yeah. I love me the Florida man awesome. Stuff. Yeah, because I read it and I'm like, yep, that's Florida. I see those people on a daily basis.
Yeah, we've got people saying if you're not too far away, we need a store signing. I can tell you, next time we get you up this direction, maybe for something like the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo or something like that. Yeah, bring you by the shop. We're a tiny little shop, but we've been there for almost 21 years now, and we're having a good time with it.
Yeah, it sounds great. Yeah. I love venturing outside of Florida. Like I said, I have a lot of good supporters here, but I'm seeing the same folks, and I like to see some other supporters that read comic books out in other states too. So,
well, congrats on Space Cadets. I've heard nothing but good stuff about Space Cadets.
And thank you.
I got to ask this because I'm sure that you know her, Jen King.
Yeah,
Space Cadet collection.
Yeah.
She had to carry the heck out of this book, right?
I hope so.
That would be criminal if she didn't.
I reached out to her and I said, Jen, are you going to do a store exclusive for this? You got to, right? And it didn't pan out. She's a big supporter of indie comic books.
Yes.
I also give a lot of credit to when COVID first hit and Diamond shut down. She's the Plan B distribution thing. Or Plan C distribution.
Yes.
Yeah. Plan B, that'd be terrible. I'm not terrible, but anyways, terrible name for a comic book.
Different thing altogether. Yeah.
Right.
I was able to get a lot of my indie books, and I didn't have very many at the time. I had Freak Show Princess, and I had the first issue of Capable, and I was able to put that into a lot of stores across the country. So,
speaking of Capable, didn't you just win a second prize for Capable?
I won an award. Yeah, it's the Kickstarter of the year. I'm looking at it.
Awesome.
On my wall. Yeah, I don't know how I got the Kickstarter of the year. Yeah, thank you. God, there's so many Kickstarters that for comic books that run on a yearly basis that make 5 figures or more. That Kickstarter campaign made like a little over $4,000, 200 backers. which I'm very thankful for. But yeah, compared to like the Oz by David Prepose and all of these other Kickstarters that go out there, yeah, it's nice to be capable, to be acknowledged, because capable is not the Recount, which is this cool book by Scout Comic Books. Capable is a very it's about handicapped people, and it's not that, it doesn't have the cover fodder that you would typically see in a comic book. So yeah, I love the recognition that it's getting, and it means a lot to me.
Yeah, congratulations! I was really excited to see that.
Yeah, thank you.
As a Kickstarter creator to another Kickstarter creator, hearing what you said about I want to have it done and I want to have it launched the minute I have the money from Kickstarter, that really makes me happy to hear as a comic buyer, as a creator, because so that's the way that I think about mine. And mine are always like, they're kind of small. I got a relatively low following for, what comics is as a whole, but they're people that love me and they make sure to support me. And it makes me feel awesome that when they support me, I get them the product and I let them have it. And it's not like a, hey, bait and switch kind of thing. Because I managed a Kickstarter. I did a variant cover, and I managed it for this guy. And that guy, I'm got to be careful about my sailor's mouth. He made $12,000, and this was like a year ago. Nobody's got anything. Not a damn.
That's see,
exactly. It's like it makes me mad to see it.
I've been preaching that they need to have on that platform a like what you do for Uber, a rating system for the driver and the passenger. There should be one for backers, so people know that that person doesn't. He always drops his pledge. He'll back the highest pledge for $1,000, and he'll drop it a minute before the campaign ends. Or creators that are not fulfilling campaigns, or will charge you $15 for shipping, and it comes in manila
media mail.
Yeah, exactly. So like I did last night was my first batch to go out. I fulfilled all the international backers first, because they're going to get theirs latest. They're going to get them well after my last US backer, so I might as well get them first. And I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back. I'm hoping other creators hear this. So I charge a flat rate of $25 for international backers, knowing that it could be more or less. When I sent something to Australia, it was $29. All right, that's on me. I sent a ton to Canada, and they were $21. I refunded all those backers in Canada the $4 difference, because
awesome.
Oh wow.
25 for them to back me, knowing that it's $25 to get their rewards, means a lot to me. That means to physically back it. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that little $4, not just the $4, but the act of reimbursing them will show that speak more volumes to anything else. So
that's awesome.
You're exactly right about that.
Other creators are doing something similar to that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, guys, the long and short of it is Jonathan is an awesome writer with a lot of range. I mean, he's got comedy stuff, serious stuff, adult stuff, all ages stuff, all over the map. And there's going to be something he's written that you're going to love. And we're going to have it at the store. And if we don't have it at the store, let us know and we'll order it for you. We'll find it. We'll get it. But Jonathan is a great creator, awesome writer, and clearly a man of integrity and the kind of people we want to support and do business with. So we really appreciate you coming on. We're going to do what we can to sell the heck out of your books. And looking forward to the next ones. I can't tell you how excited I am for Quicksand. When I saw the premise for that, I was like, this is so up my alley. It's painful. I can't wait to read this.
Awesome. I hope you like it. I hope it doesn't let you down. I know that.
Clearly the response from everybody else on here is the same thing. Everybody's dying to get their hands on it. So cool. I be looking for me to hitch up for a reorder, because I'm going to need it.
Awesome. Just let me know.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun.
All right, Jeremy, any last things to hit people with?
No, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. See you next week, and let's play us out.
All right.